Good evening, everyone. How are you? Good. Nice. I love a late night crowd. Thanks for sticking around. Sometimes when my brain, I get obsessed with things, and I've been obsessed lately with the concept of how many lives we live. It's crazy, isn't it? Like you have a love life, you have a social life, you have a family life, and how many lives are even lived within those separate sections? Like when you think about your first job, that feels like a lifetime away. Or friends that you picked up and then kind of lost throughout the years. Those are different lives. Family lives, right? People get divorced, pass away, new children. That kind of happens. New life gives it away. And then, of course, there's sex lives. Our sex lives, right? Are you with me? I hope so. Because it wasn't until my mid-30s that I realized that the longest sexual relationship I'm going to have is with myself. Right? Because when I was in my 20s, I was not a very confident person. I had built all this shame inside of me, and I was doing a lot of DIONS, drunken, insecure one-night stands. Just me. You know, you would get drunk, not really to know the people. The next morning you wake up, where am I? Who are you? I need to go. And then at 26 years of age, I go to my local video store. Do you remember those? And I needed a gay 90s coming-of-age film to cheer me up. I choose The Sum of Us, starring a young Russell Crowe. And at the end of the movie, I'm like, Australia's amazing. All the men are beautiful. And they have supportive single fathers who are overly eager to help their gay sons find true love. I'm going to Australia. 9 months later, I actually am going to Australia. I'm boarding a flight because of this film. Oh, to be 26 again. I have this very vivid memory of sitting in a restaurant near the airport with my parents. And I just got really nervous because I had just realized the night before also, I'd never been on a plane before. And I was going for a year. What the fuck? So I'm at this dinner and my stomach's churning and I keep looking at my parents going, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? And finally my dad just reaches over and he goes, Paul, if you don't know, we for sure don't know. Okay, so I go to the bathroom thinking I'm gonna puke or shit myself. And I'm deep breathing in the mirror and I'm like, you gotta do this, you said you're gonna go, there's no fucking way you're not going. And as I go back to the table, my mother's got these wide-eyed looks on her and she goes, you've never been on a plane before. And I was like, I know, what am I doing with my life? But I take this extraordinary flight and I land and I have the confidence and I get a job and I make friends. The only issue is they're all straight. Exactly. So what I end up doing is starting that routine again, right? I start the DIONS, going home with men that I don't really even want to go home with, but I'm 8 vodka sodas in. I even went home with a guy who at one point put his hand on my head and sang Bizarre Love Triangle. Every time I think of you, I feel a shot right through with a bolt of blue. It's no problem of mine, but it's a problem I find, living a life that I can't leave behind. I decide to go to Melbourne. I buy the last bus ticket and travel 8.5 hours on a packed bus to arrive at an even more packed city. I'm wandering around going, this cannot be normal. This city cannot be this full. So I pull someone aside and I go, what is going on? They look at me like I have 3 heads. It's the Melbourne Grand Prix. You haven't booked a place to stay? Good luck with that. Thanks. I wander this unknown city with my backpack for hours, going into hostels, rejection after rejection. It starts to get dark and I start to get a little nervous. Like, am I gonna sleep outside? Should I prostitute myself? Would I get any money? I don't know. But then there's a hostel and there's no security and I kind of sneak my way in. And the front desk is looking at me like, buddy. And I'm like, oh my God, please, please, please. Do you have anything at all? Like anything. I don't even know what the Grand Prix is. This causes them to pause. They ask me all these weird questions, and then, we got a bed for you, buddy. You're really lucky, though. Really lucky. It's in a shared dormitory room upstairs. Now, there is nothing more uncomfortable than walking into a packed, shared dormitory room, single beds everywhere. And as I'm trying to find the bed that is by itself, I notice the room goes silent. Everyone is staring at me. They are all women, and they are all really not glad to see me. But before I burst into tears, a guy bursts out of the bathroom, and we lock eyes. And he goes, hey, and I go, hey. And he goes, I'm Adam. Don't worry, everyone, he's a gay. Oh, all the tension exits the room, right? I'm like, oh, it's over there. I love your shoes. You got great hair. You are so pretty. And then suddenly all the questions they asked me at the front desk make sense. Do you have a girlfriend? Oh, no. How do you feel about women? Oh, I love women. Most of my best friends are women. Did you attend Sydney's Gay Pride? Yes, it was amazing. Now, Adam, unfortunately, is returning to Britain the next day. But he tells me all about the gay scene in Melbourne, even bathhouses. My face kind of goes, bathhouses? Bathhouses? Well, I'd never be one of those. My Catholic upbringing making my face look like a cat's asshole. I'm like, I don't do that. No. So it's 3 days later and I'm wandering around Melbourne and I get lost because I get lost in every city I visit. I start to again feel that tension, that feeling, so I stop and take a breath. It is there that I notice the building across the street. 4 floors, caramel colored, all the windows blacked out. Nothing but a large rainbow flag hangs above the door. I bet that's a bathhouse. And I bet this is a sign. And I bet right now, you're gonna go to your first bathhouse. You know when you make those decisions in the moment, how wonderful that is when you feel that confidence through your whole body as you realize, oh no, today's the day. No cat's asshole. And I cross that street and I open that steel door and I get an entrance. It's the first time in my life that I have ever showered naked with other men. It is the first time I have wandered around with nothing but a towel on. And I have hit the grand doozy of bathhouses. It's newly restored. On the 4th floor, all things automotive. Motorcycles and parts of cars bolted down for fantasy play. I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease 2. I want a cool rider. I like that only 2 of you get that reference. 3rd floor is like St. Andrew's crosses, slings, and oh, the smell of leather. Now I get it. The 2nd floor is whirlpools and saunas and glory holes. Oh my. I can feel years of shame unraveling in myself. And I feel so blessed because I am attracted to so many different types of men. It actually is very proud making. And I let go of that shame and I go to town. 8 hours later, I emerge into daybreak. And you know when you walk home from a sexual triumph? Like every second step was like, woo! Woo! You did that too! You did that too! You did that too! I have no trouble finding my hostel. And when I come in, all my flatmates, well, they're just so excited for me. And they want to hear all about it while I brush their hair. And as I go to sleep that morning, just before my head hits that pillow, I realize there will be no more DIONSs in my life. And I am going to have a great sex life. My name's Paul Hutcheson. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for sticking around. Bring back Marsha.